Sorry, I just dropped that on you guys. Well, dropped my phone. Good evening, you guys. I believe it is 7:20. How are you guys doing? This is Quadria Marie of Scholar Media. Hello, you see it behind you. And Scholar Talk. Happy evening to you guys. I know I had to switch it up on you. I had to put a wig on. I had my afro, but my afro was starting to sweat out, so I have to go through. I'm going to try some new shampoos and conditioners and give it a good shampooing and washing. And I'm going to do that sometime soon. But I have to do this first with you guys. My Scholar Talk number 8 show. Oh my God. Thank you guys for coming on. Right when I'm getting my little talk on about my hair, you guys are coming on. I much rather talk to you guys. Thank you, Adrian, for coming on. Hey, Mom, Danita Shug Brown, color purple. Thank you for coming on, Mom. Hey, Tanisha, thank you so much. Hey, Charles, I see you. It says Charles Milburn is watching. I see you there, my friend. It's been a long time since I've seen you as well. I appreciate you guys coming on time. It makes me feel good. It actually encourages me to continue doing these types of shows. So, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm going to keep probably, doing this the entire show because you guys know I'm not used to having this white girl hair like that. I used to, L'Oreal, all that stuff like that, all these different things. So, yeah, I know I love my afro, my little afro puff. So, Adrian says it's a big topic. Tiana is watching. Kay, cuz, what's up with you? Hope everything's going well with your wedding, your planning as far as that goes. Kyle says that look is way better than the afro look. No offense, Kyle. Come on now, really? Now my afro is my look. Ain't nobody else can rock that the same way I do. So this is just a temporary look for now until I go back and into the afro. Sometimes I like to switch things up a little bit. Try to be different. Summertime come, I might even switch up and change my hair completely. I might cut everything off one day, but you guys will see that as well. I won't be doing that anytime soon, but with me, you never know. So thank you, cuz. Thank you, Tiana, for saying you love my afro. Kyle, it's okay. It's definitely fine. I enjoy having, different hairstyles. I just love the afro because it's natural and obviously it's me. There is no cover up. What you see is what you see. So, any man who meets me, if he sees my afro, he knows what he's working with. When we have a baby together, he already expects some type of naps in there. So you can see it's not gonna be no straight hair texture like this or whatever you want to call this. So Tanisha says switch up is good. You can rock any style. Thank you, boo. And actually, you can as well if anyone goes on her page. Tanisha, my friend Shantae, she definitely knows how to rock her different wigs. But thank you guys again for coming on. Happy Monday to all of you out there. I hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Hey Al, what's up? Thank you for joining. I definitely had some fun this weekend. I got to experience being behind the scenes of rehearsals and auditions for a black musical called Angie Jackson the Musical. So, they're bringing in talent from, Newark, New Jersey, East Orange, this Essex County area. So it was nice to be a part of that. I put up some live video footage and pictures this weekend, so I'm sure you guys have already seen that, but it was awesome. For another show, I'll let you guys in on my role in it. I have more than one, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to be a part of anything that involves the community, especially what's going on right now in the media. We all need positive images. The young children, especially, they need to feel like they're a part of a positive movement. So I was happy to see young kids, acting out. They knew their lines. They knew where they were sitting on the stage, the rehearsal stage, and it was nice to see. So, and I had fun with friends this weekend from college. So I definitely had a great weekend, which is probably why I had to put this wig on, because I was in such a feel-good mode. I had to do a little switch up. So for tonight, thank you guys again. But for tonight, my Scholar Talk show is going to revolve around, as far as when you first meet someone, how important is it to basically disclose your financial situation? Is it important to you when you first meet someone? what's going on with them as far as their financing. Basically, if a person is broke, and I hate to use the word broke, but that's, it is what it is. If a person's broke or they're financially struggling, should this person even have dating as an option? Should they just stay single and wait until they get themselves together? Or should they still, go out and pursue having a relationship? And I guess that goes more towards men in that sense, because a lot of the times men are held to have that kind of responsibility as far as financials go. And that includes even on the first or second or third date. A lot of times the men are held responsible for paying for the date. So a lot of times men don't want to tell a woman they ask you out. A lot of times a lot of men don't want to come out and straight up say that, you gotta wait a little while before they can take you out because they don't have the money. So you guys can talk about that as well. That's just something I saw my friend's twin post about that. He actually inspired me to do this topic tonight. And so I was just curious to see the different reactions both men and women had to this type of situation. How important is it if someone, doesn't have the kind of money to take you out and give you a good time? Is that really an important factor when you are first dating, and when you first meet someone, when or if you should disclose that? Oh, okay, let me start reading you guys' comments now. We go here. Thank you, Kyle. Yes, it is a wig. Thank you. Adrian says, hell yeah.com. Denisha says, to me, no money isn't everything, girl. A man can have all the money and still treat you like crap. Al says, don't pin this on men and women's side. It's just as important. No, Al, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying when you go on dates, a lot of times the man is the one that is held responsible for paying for the dinner. That's what I meant by that. Of course, as men and women, and that's why I want both men and women on here, so both can talk about both sides of it. And I want to see what everyone thinks about it. But I was just referring to like first dates. Usually it tends to be, the guy paying, for everything. And then after a few days, after you guys are dating, that's when a lot of men tend to ask the woman if she wants to go Dutch on it or if she, doesn't mind paying. But a lot of men at first, they have a lot of pride issues. They don't want to tell the woman that, they didn't get paid this week, or they have to pay their other bills. They have rent, P&G or whatever, their car note, all that stuff to pay for. But before they tell a woman that, they'll go and spend that money just to impress her on the first or second date, instead of coming out and being honest about, their situation. And, a woman, a lot of times we don't know, obviously, just like with a man, he may not know our situation. But I'm going to get into that. I did do a little bit of notes. I didn't do too much, but I did go on this website called iwouldteachyouhowtoberish.com. And they talked about when you should talk about finances in a relationship. And they try to talk more as a long-term sense. But here, I want to just focus on just initially dating. But you guys can talk about when you first meet or long term or however you want to talk about. Kyle says, if you truly love with your significant other, your other half, then you will be okay with them regardless, broke or not. Al says, not true. Adrian says it's 50-50 commitment. But I wonder what you guys think when you're first meeting someone. Because when you're first meeting someone, you aren't aware of that. You're not in love with them yet. This person isn't your significant other. We are thinking that you can now, compromise because, you've been with this person. Tiana says it depends on if there's chemistry and you can see yourself building or growing with the person. I don't feel you have to discuss finances, but y'all just kicking it and not planning on being together. Yeah, I believe I agree with you. I do agree that we definitely should discuss that, because on this blog, and I try to support bloggers, by the way, on this blog, iwouldteachyouhowtoberish.com, they mention how some couples can be together for years and they don't discuss financing. So I definitely believe that to be true, that, regardless of how long you've been dating or, whatever, it's definitely important to eventually find out what's going on with this person. What's their credit score? Do they even have credit? Things like that. So Tiana says she wouldn't mind paying. I sure wouldn't either. But again, sometimes you go out with men, they don't want to admit that they don't have, even have. They may not want to disclose that with you, and then you're caught out there having to pay the whole bill. So that needs to be disclosed right up front. Al says if you find out someone you're dating is in crazy debt and they hid it from you and they have no plan to fix that, you'd be stupid to go any further with them because their debt will become your debt. And if you're not prepared to take that on, then love isn't going to fix that. I definitely agree with that. This blog actually mentions that they have 2 questions that you should ask when you are seeing someone. I actually have them written down here, so please don't mind me. The first question is that you should talk to your partner honestly, and you should also, admit to what you've done in your past relationships. Some people don't want to admit what they actually did. The second part is you should ask, and this refers to what Al was saying, is there a certain number as far as their debt that would make you seriously reconsider the relationship? And if not, what would? So as you mentioned, there's a difference, and this is my opinion, there's a difference between somebody having like student loan debt and having credit card debt. If you owe $70,000, $80,000 in student loans, I think that's very much different than someone owing $40,000 or $50,000 in credit card debt. That's for me, because that's the credit card debt is a whole different ball game versus a student loan. Student loans you can work on, you understand, maybe you're there with the person trying to help them get to a better place in their life, but credit card, I don't know. Sophia, hey Sophia, thank you for joining, by the way. She says when you first meet someone, he has to come up with the first day money. After that, he can tell me the real deal and I'd be okay with working with him. And I agree with you as well, Sophia. And that's what I was saying with men. They don't necessarily want to say if they don't have money or not. I feel like man or woman, you shouldn't ask someone out if you don't have, the money. At least have something that you can take someone out. And if you're dealing with a type of woman that expects you to spend, $500 or $600 or something on a first date, this is somebody that you shouldn't be bothered with anyway. But I definitely agree when you first, meet someone. I think that, his responsibility is the first date. And then, after that, you guys work together and see what you're going to do next. Adrian says, if you asked me on a date, I would think that you would pay. Yeah, I agree as well, Adrian. Kyle says, sometimes my woman would pay for me if she knew that I'm struggling financially. But see, when you're in a relationship, I believe you are supposed to do that. You are supposed to work together. It's just hard when you're first meeting, those first few days, you don't know anything about the person. You don't know nothing about their financial background yet. Should you admit to your situation and should you, offer to pay? I feel like you should, as a man, offer to pay. But I don't necessarily think that, as a man, you should, on the first date, come out and say that you're necessarily in debt either. I don't know if that's something you should do right away. I definitely feel like you do need to go through a few, first few days and see if there's somebody that's even worth telling all your business about. But once people know that you ain't got no money, it goes all out. Al says the first meeting someone, if you know their occupation limit situation, you can get a scope of things right there. That's very, very true, especially if you're dating someone like in school or, doing something that, takes that's going to take a lot of, money and put them in a lot of debt and, they're going to be struggling financially, then, yeah, that's something that you can figure out. You can look at, like you said, look at their occupation and living situation and find out what's going on from there. But even in that case, some people don't want to reveal too much because they don't want you to figure out their financial situation. They don't want you to necessarily know everything. Kyle says, my opinion, you don't have to agree with it. Go ahead. I see them going back and forth. Adrian says, be upfront from the jump. I definitely agree. But the thing is, how upfront do you do it? Because I'm looking on this blog and I just have a little bit of notes from them, but they did mention that for a woman, sometimes if she talks too early about it to a man, she might come across as weird and as a gold digger. And if she waits too long to talk about it, now she's in love with the man and now she has to make this decision. Do she want to be bothered with him or not after she's already, developed feelings? So that happens a lot with women, which is, why we both man and women have to be open and honest about, what's going on with them. I myself, I don't like to be surprised in that sense. Like, I love surprises, but I don't want to be surprised and find out that, you don't have any, any income. And I don't want to say rich because I'm not, into that, but that you have to have some type of, income. And if you don't, that you are at least working on trying to do that. So for me, I would like to know, even, the first few days, let me know, what's going on with you. Maybe if I am into you, as my cousin said, have chemistry, I wouldn't mind, growing with you and learning how to build our finances together. Tiana says it's important, but when you're just meeting, it's a bit heavy. Yeah, I agree with that too. But that's the thing. People don't talk about financing, and it's one of the most important things. Tanisha says honesty is the best policy finance-wise in the beginning. Yeah, I agree. Kyle says I would hold my girl down if she doesn't have no money, and she would do the same for me. That's the way it's supposed to be. Kyle, you're such a good guy. Rajan is on. Thank you guys. Thank you, Javon, for joining. Al says the number you should consider is when the issues start to drag your life down and hold you back from your goals. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And that's the thing. Some people don't know what number they have. They don't know, how much debt a person should be in. This and the other. They don't even know how much debt that they should be in themselves to be able to handle their situation, let alone what somebody else should have. But I definitely agree with that. Of course, none of us want to have any debt, but in life, we all have some type of debt. Hopefully, none of us have anything that's real serious, that's like over, 150 grand or something like that. Hopefully, we all have something that we can manage, God willing. Paul says, I think it should be 50-50. I definitely agree. When you are in a relationship, I do think, and I think I spoke on this in the previous Scholar Talk, I do think things should be based on how much people make. Like as far as if you guys live together. I don't necessarily think 50-50 is perfect in that sense because, what if you do have someone who makes a substantial amount more money than the other person? Is it fair if it's a 50-50 thing? But when you're first, when you're first going out, you're first dating, I do think that, you guys should try to be 50-50 in that sense. Alan says, I'm not going to be eating ramen noodles till 2025 because we both paying off $70K worth of red bottom purchases. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's ridiculous. First of all, I don't know why you would go in debt for that. Anyway, if you're going to go in debt, let it be, for student loans or even for a car or a house. Let it be something that has some type of value to it. Adrian said that's fourth date combo. Yeah, I agree. I do think maybe around, the third or fourth date, if you feel like this is somebody you're going to work with, that you should go into that. Rashawn says, okay, spin some fire. Got me up on this. Spin some fire with you. Thank you so much. He says you're wise with these words and knowledge. I don't know about that. I'm just, speaking, from experience, and I'm, going off of what you guys are saying. They're definitely spinning out some fire, Rayshawn, not me. Javon says in the beginning, it's not about the money, it's about the person's money, the money mindset, and the work they're doing to better their financial situation. Very, very true. But that's the thing. What if the person doesn't disclose any of that? Like, how do you know? Like, should you, ask the person yourself, whether you're a man or woman? Should you go up and ask the person what's going on with them? What's their money mindset? Because that can come across as you are trying to pry and see how much money they make. A lot of times some men think that you asking them about, what's going on, what their financial goals are, they feel like it's the woman trying to find out how much they got, in the bank. With me, it won't be like that. I really want to know, like, what you're saying, what's your money mindset. I want to see if it matches with mine, or if it's even more better, than my mindset. Maybe I can learn something from you about how to, deal with money and how to make money and think of money, differently. Kyle says, definitely supposed to be 50-50 real talk. Tiana says she agrees with him. Javon says, but after a while, a man has to produce financial results. Yeah, I definitely agree, and that's why I feel like a lot of men have so much pressure on them as far as financing, and why they don't admit to things when they first meet a woman. A lot of times when you're friends with a woman, like Javon, like you and I, we disclose a lot of things, what's going on with us. But it's like when you first meet someone, you're pursuing them in a dating way, you might not. Well, you might not come straight out and say, I have this, or I need to work on this. And it's hard, though, when you first meet someone, you don't have that bond yet where you feel even comfortable talking about your money. But as Adrian said, around the fourth date, that should be a pretty much good gauge to when you can feel comfortable to talk about that. Let me see. Al says, yeah, Kyle, it is. So that's what I'm saying. Well, if it's 90-10, you feel good with that for the rest of your life? Yeah. I want Kyle to answer that as well, because that's a great question, Al. Twin is watching. Thank you, Twin. This is Twin is on here. He helped inspire my posts. He's always writing these posts that's stirring up my brain. So I appreciate you, brother, for doing that. Writing this post about, financing and when you're dating, if you should be broke. Because in my mind, and this is for myself too, I don't feel like you should be out pursuing men or women if you don't have no money. I'm just gonna put it plain like that, because when you go out with somebody, unfortunately, when you first meet, a lot of times it is about impressing each other. It really shouldn't be, but it is, because you are trying to prove yourself to somebody. So a lot of times to prove yourself to someone, you have to have some type of money, and it's not spending out hundreds of dollars. Hopefully not, but you do got to spend a little bit of something, and a lot of times it falls on the man's plate to do that. So again, a lot of times it's men who don't come out and admit when they don't have something. Like if I'm going out with you, I want you to come out and straight up tell me, babe, I don't have it this week, or I'm not able to take you here, because y'all know I love to eat. So for me, you take me out to eat, you're pretty much high up on the status of me keeping interest in you. With me, I don't want them shoes. I don't need all this, wigs and all these things. Just feed me, take me out to eat, and you pretty much have a good chunk of my heart. But enough about that. Hey, why? Thank you for joining. Javon says 50-50 sometimes is unrealistic. They should be a financial plan. I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. To people dating, somebody is always going to make more money than the other. But, I'm really trying to focus just on when you first meet someone. Of course, when you're in a long-term relationship, you have to plan it out. But even before you get to the long-term relationship, you guys need to discuss finances. And as I said before, a lot of times people can be married for 5 years, 10, 20 years, and they don't know that their significant other is in debt for $100 grand. And if they find out, sometimes they don't even know what it is for. They don't know if it's gambling. They don't know if it's credit card or student loans. So all those things are factors. If somebody's lying to you about their finances, obviously this is not somebody that you want to stay long-term with. Javon says, ask questions, keep it 100. Thank you, Umar, for joining as well. Adrian says they can be the kindest person but suck at saving. And that's serious, though, because, obviously if you're going to be building with somebody got to know how to save. And I ain't giving my money out to somebody if you ain't the type to, know how to save, especially if we're together and we're trying to have, a family or start a family. Obviously, saving is very, very important. You can't be going out splurging. Even me, I might not be able to splurge out to eat like I used to. I ain't there yet, though. But at some point, obviously, if I have children, I can't do the same things. And I don't like to say the word can't, because maybe in the future I might be blessed and be rich and be able to do all this together. But I'm just saying right now, in my situation, I wouldn't be able to go out and, spend all this money. So if I'm dating somebody, he has to be able to tell me, hold off on going out to, Red Lobster every week. And if he has some issues, I'm going to tell him the same thing. But now I'm going off on a tangent too. Tiana says, start a comma on the third day. Have you ever heard of creditkarma.com or Credit Sesame? You want to check it out together. Yeah, I like that. And it's crazy because as a woman, you got to figure out a certain way to bring it up without coming across like you're about money, like you're being a gold digger. Because that's, unless you are, and, that's what you're looking for, sugar daddy or whatever. But if you're not that type of female, you have to come up with ways to, to talk to the guy. And like, as she said, just bring up creditkarma.com. And I think that's what you should be doing anyway, whether it's with someone you're dating or a friend or relative. We all should be going out and asking people, have you checked your credit score? Do you know how much debt you're in? These are very important things that you should know as a person, period. So that when you are going out and pursuing someone or dating someone, you have all these things already. You're already on point about it. If someone throws out and asks you questions, it's not like you're just lost in space. You already know what it is and what it isn't. Hey, Corey, thank you for joining. Marquise is on. Hey, you guys. Oh, my God, I'm so happy to see you guys coming on. I have some people who haven't been on in a while and also some newcomers. My cousin, Sergey, is on here. He got his Russian name, Mikhail, but, I ain't going to say too much about that. But shout out to my cousin for joining. Hey, twin, I see you again. Umar says, I don't have no money. And really, I don't want to say, like, this is just all about having money. I'm just saying when you are dating, is it important to have money at all when you are initially dating somebody. A lot of people feel like you should not be dating, if you don't have anything to contribute, even on the first few dates. Of course, long term, that's something else. But some people feel like even if you're going on a first date with a woman, you should have something, in your pocket, to take her out, IHOP or something like that. Now, see, again, here I go talking about food again. But I'm just saying, for example, if you're taking a woman out, if you're asking her out, it is kind of expected for you to have a little something on you. You don't necessarily have to be a rich man to impress either. Kyle says in my Martin Payne voice, he said, we got bills, man. But I get what you were saying. Us as men are supposed to hold it down and pay all the bills. It's only right and natural. After the marriage, women are supposed to take the man last name, not vice versa. Yeah, I definitely agree. And I agree with you also what you were saying earlier, Kyle, about, 50-50 and working, together. But again, a lot of times the finances is on, the boyfriend, fiance, or husband or father to take care of things. And it tends to start right from the beginning when people first meet. In the first few dates, it tends to just fall right on the man's lap. And of course, if you're in a relationship, you're going to, learn to work together, compromise each other. But the only way to do that, if you know where the other person is, if you don't know if you're dating a poor person, you don't know to help them either. Like I said, you need to be honest and you need to disclose what your situation is so that that person at least has the option to choose to stay with you or not. I know for me, I don't want to be dating somebody and then I end up falling in love with him after 6 months and then I find out that the man, is a criminal or something, or he got all this debt or fraud, coming up, on him. I don't want to be with you like that. So definitely be honest, with the person. Like I said, don't be surprised yourself and don't surprise the other person. Be honest about what's going on with you. Tiana says, honestly, if I'm vibing with someone, doesn't matter if we go to Ruth Chris or Cold Stone, it shouldn't be about big, lavish, expensive date. And I agree with you as well, but even some men, they're not even able to do the Cold Stone thing. And I've experienced this. So even in that sense, a man should still, tell you if he got it or not, because you never know. You might ask a woman out, if you tell her, well, if you want to go out, this week or whenever, maybe you do have to help pay. And surprisingly, a lot of women, if she's a good woman, she will, help out if she could, or if not, you just, reschedule and just say, let's find something else to do for free. Every date doesn't have to obviously cost, money, but that's just the misconception that people have. Everyone thinks when they go on a first date, you have to go and do all these expensive things. In reality, my favorite first dates are really the ones that don't cost any money. Picnics, skating, in the park, stuff like that is actually what I prefer over, all these other things. But I still love to go out to eat, but it doesn't have to be the first date. Twin said most men are afraid to disclose what they can afford because he don't want the female to look at him as a broke ass nigga. Yeah, that's true. But then again, Twin, I've been seeing the type of women you've been dealing with too. So it's like, at the same token, you might be dealing with women that is all about money. Not every female out here is all about, how much a man can have. She may be struggling herself. So it's not like it's a complete misunderstanding. But I just feel like a lot of times as men, they don't want to, like you said, they're afraid to disclose things for various reasons. They don't want to be looked down on, or they're trying to make themselves look another way. They're trying to pump themselves up more. And then, you get in a situation where, you're making yourself seem like you got all this money. And then sometimes a woman really might start trying to take advantage of you because now she thinks you got all this. And then when you surprise her and, I don't have it, all of a sudden now she's disappointed because she had this image in her head. So sometimes it can backfire against you too. Sometimes it's best to just straight up tell the woman ahead of time, I don't have it. I'm not this rich baller. Let her know so that she can choose, whether or not she wants to stay with you. And surprised that she might actually want to help build with you and help you make money. She might even have different tips to help you make money. So you never know. It's just, I think with you, it really depends on, the type of woman that you are, asking out. Adrian says, amen. She says, I like nice things, but it's a want, not a need. I definitely agree with you as that as well. Marquis said, credit repair has helped me a lot, and Will Roundtree is a good resource. Thank you for throwing that out. Credit is very, very important. I'm actually working on building, I don't want to say building, but fixing certain things in my credit report as well. Shout out to Darwin Lewis. This is a friend of mine. He's helping get little things off my credit. I am going to do a show on credit. I might even have him on here as a guest co-host to help go through certain things to look for on your credit. And it's very, very important when you are thinking of dating that you have your credit right. Because now people out here, not everybody's asking about credit score. It used to be you didn't have to put all that, information out. But now, I think it is very important to know this. Like I said, just know if somebody's in debt and to know what their credit and FICO score, because there's no point in you building with somebody who, is not trying to do better in life. Now, if your credit is at a certain point, and I see you out here trying to do things to get together, that's very different than somebody who don't have a clue about their credit, or they don't care what's going on with their credit. That's a whole nother thing. We don't need those types, man or woman. Al said it's not about life. It's not about dates. It's about life. If you have 1,000 for rent and they got 200, that's going to affect your living situation. Where if both of you put in 1,000, you can afford a nice house. Yeah, that's very true. Let me see, a nice house in a nice neighborhood. If you're maxed out because she can't contribute, that's affecting both of your ability to save as well. I agree 1,000%, as you said in that comment. And, so like I said, you don't know sometimes what somebody has, and you can't make any of these decisions unless you know what the other person is what they got on their side, what they're handling. Marquise says, if you're broke, don't date. Hey, what's up, Ashley? Thank you for joining. Cliff says, sooner or later, finances always come into play. But the thing is, Cliff, people don't always disclose their finances. And that's one of the big issues. And that's what I was talking about earlier this evening, is when you should disclose that, how early on or how late you should disclose it. And a lot of people feel like someone else said that if you're broke, you shouldn't date. And there's a number of factors for that. But the biggest one is, when you're dating, you can't contribute anything. And, unfortunately, some people, in this world look down on that. If they see that you don't have too much to offer, they may not want to continue. And I don't think it's necessarily being a gold digger. It's that a lot of times for women, we tend to be interested in the men who do have that financial stability going on, which is probably, why a number of women, they date older men, because the man does have that stability, that security. Those are two very, very important things that women look for. I don't know if it's the same, for men, but I know for women, those are big things that we tend to look for. So unfortunately, a lot of times when a man is coming across as though he doesn't have anything, she might look the other way, no matter how, attracted she might be to him. Cliff says it's sexy when a woman pays. And that's something I've heard before too, which is why I do try to at least offer it. And I don't want to seem like the type who wants a man to always have to pay for something. Like, if I really don't have it, then, of course, then he might have to pay. But if I do have a little something myself, I don't think it hurts to, to offer and say, I'm going to pay, this time around. Because, again, sometimes, like I said, men, they don't admit they don't have it. So what if he really doesn't have it that night? You just took a lot off of his chest now by offering to pay. Kyle says, I always got some in my pockets. I'm never worried about that. Kyle, I know that's very true. I seen your pockets, so I know I seen them. You may not have known I seen them, but I seen them. My cousin McKelly says, as a dude, you can't go into the dating game half-stepping. Tell him, cuz. Go ahead, boy. Kyle is going to answer. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you so much. Tiana says, well, if you can't do Cold Stone, we have a problem. Yeah, unfortunately, cuz I have come across that. I don't want to get into the details of that, but I definitely came across that situation. Paul says, I have been a homeowner for 10 years. It goes in my pocket and back out. How can I budget to afford a day? I'm humble and I like to cook girls' dinner. Is that a big deal at first? No, I actually think that's a good thing. It's always good to date somebody who knows how to budget. Some people need to be taught how to do that. So maybe if you meet someone, you'll be able to show her how to do that. Because a lot of times women, we don't know how to budget. Again, of course, I spend all my money going out to eat and, buying food. Some women's purses and shoes. Me, it's food, nothing else. Nisha says, I'm with Tiana. Cold Stone, yeah, that's true. Ruth, Chris, makes no difference as long as I'm happy, I'm good. Very true, you girls. My cousin says, dude don't have Cold Stone money, estimate. Yeah, Tess is it's just crazy though. But I mean, let me not say that. I understand his situation, but still, have a little something for vanilla ice cream. Adrian says assumptions will get you in trouble. Very true as well. Al says it's not about you. Y'all are supposed to be a team. If you go down, she got to be able to hold down the fort for as long as needed. I agree. He says shit happens from getting fired to being in the hospital. Yeah, that's very true. You don't want to come out of a coma 2 months later and the house is foreclosed. I mean, I don't mean to laugh about that, but it's true. And, if you are with somebody, you are supposed to hold that person down. I very much agree with that. And again, in any relationship, like I said, someone's always going to make more money. And as he said, things can happen in life, which they do happen. And, as a man or woman, you have to then take over for that person. And hopefully they would do the same, for you. Deanna says, true, Al. Yeah, he's preaching it tonight. Twin says, I need to get out the hood. I let him know I'm broke with 2 jobs. But Twin, I think you have a little bit more than you might think that, women find acceptable. Like I said, you've been dealing with these certain type of women that want these certain type of men, and those type of men ain't even the right type of men. So don't even put yourself in that category with the type of men that these women want out there. I personally think that you're doing a good job. So hey Jonathan, thank you for joining. What's up with you? Twin says great show, you'll be back. Thank you, Twin, for contributing though. Marquis says you pay after date 5. You talking about the woman? I'm guessing you're saying the woman has to pay after date 5. I can agree with that. I might even do it before you get to a date 5, depending on my chemistry with with the person. So I might, if I have it, I might offer to pay if I got it. Hey Damon, thank you for joining. Kyle says it's only right that both parties pay for the date. Sometimes it wouldn't be fair for either the man or woman to pay all the time. Split it every time y'all go out. I agree with that too, but what's crazy, Kyle, I've actually gone on dates with certain men and offered to pay, and the man would get pissed off at me, like, what are you doing? So I've had that too. So a lot of times when you're first going on the first few dates, you don't know what type of person you're dealing with. You don't know what type of man or woman you're going out with. You could meet somebody and they seem a certain way at first, and then you go on a first or second date with them and you're just like, oh damn, this person is kind of aggressive or they're controlling, whatever. But like I said, I've dealt with men who they actually got offended that I even offered to pay. So I would switch it up and be like, okay, I'll just pay for the tip. And even sometimes that was kind of strange. So it really depends on the person. Some men like okay, but from what I've experienced myself, first or second date, the man does not want the woman to pay. I don't know if it's an insult thing or a pride issue or what, but I've definitely dealt with that, with the man not wanting, the woman to pay anything. Even if she's offering, sometimes, they'll say, that's it. So I just become domesticated at that point. I just don't say anything. Hey, you want to, you want to save me a few dollars here? I'm not going to say anything. I'll just be hushed up until we get to, whatever part of the date then. Kyle says, oh, word, you saw my pockets before, yikes. Yeah, I have seen it. You didn't know I saw a little something in there. Al says, you're out. Thank you, Al. I appreciate you for coming out. He says, I burned my chicken. You owe me a meal now. I definitely will cook you a meal. I'm supposed to be doing that tonight, actually, practicing cooking. I don't know what I got in there. I don't know if I have more mac and cheese. I had mac and cheese yesterday at Planet Hollywood, so I don't know if I want to fix that tonight. So I might fix some collard greens and, as you said, some chicken. So sorry you burnt your chicken out. If I could give you some of mine, I would. I really would. Kyle says some dudes are big ballers. They want to be in control all the time. Yeah, Kyle, I don't think a man should do that unless he really is a big baller. And even if you are, that doesn't mean you have to go out and spend all this money either. So it's just a lot of misconceptions. Thank you, Paul, for coming on. I do agree with most of you guys that the 4th or 5th date is a good time to start talking about your financing. And I don't mean disclosing how much you necessarily make, but just briefly, general, what's going on with you. Or you working on making more money? Do you have any goals in mind? Are you comfortable? Some people are making enough money and they're able to pay their bills. They're able to go out here and there. They're able to send money to their parents and things, and they're okay with that. Some of us, not me, but some of us are in a position that they're okay. And, if you're dealing with a male or female that doesn't care to go out lavish places, then you're even better off. You guys can save together. Adrian says, do you pay your bills on time? Will let you know how serious the person is financially. I agree with that. And again, that goes with your credit score. Obviously, somebody has a terrible credit score. It's probably a sign that, they haven't built up anything and they're not paying their bills on time. So definitely important knowing credit score. I don't think that's something that you should disclose either, right away. I do think that's something you find out later. Women joke about that a lot. When they go on the first date, they're like, what's your FICO score and stuff. But I don't know if I necessarily want to know all that, because I don't know if I want to disclose my exact number. But, at least talk about it. At least be aware of what's going on between each other. Let me know, and I'll let you know where I'm at financially and where I think I'm going and where you're going financially. Thank you, Kyle, for telling me. Great show, nice topic. I really enjoyed it. What's up, Mr. Joe Adams? Thank you for joining as well. Tonight actually has been great. I'm learning from you guys, as well. Going on, dates and seeing what I should do if this is something that I should, discuss and talk about myself. But right now, I'm, part of the reason I'm staying single is because I want to be able to contribute as well to a relationship. I don't want it all to be on his plate. Because what if he's still getting himself together? One of us got to have something right. And, I don't want everything to be falling on the man's plate either. So I feel like as a woman, I need to be where I want to be financially, at least a little bit higher up where I want to be, a higher income bracket where I am now, so that I can at least hold myself down. And of course, if I'm with this person, we're dating, we're together, that if something does happen with him, he loses his job or, something happens in his business or whatever, that I am able to help him. I won't be, any good if I'm dating somebody and something happens to him and we're living together, whatever. I won't be able to do as much as I would want to do for him. So I have common sense right now to, remain single and get myself together, get my credit score up to 850. So I'm working on it. I'm not far away from it. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Not too far from it. Again, shout out to my friend Darvis Lewis. He is helping fix these little mistakes in my credit, helping me do these dispute letters and such like that. So God bless him for that. Joe says, great info and show. Definitely, Joe. I don't know if you've been watching it the whole time, but I do want you to go back and watch. Please tell others to come on my next show each and every Monday at 7:20 p.m. via my Facebook Live here, Quadria Marie Brown. Please tell others. Tell them to go onto my Facebook media page, facebook.com/Scholar Media. That's SKOLER Media. I have an Instagram and a Twitter under that as well. And you can always follow my personal Instagram and Twitter, which is at Quadria Marie. So I'm gonna hang up. I'm realizing it's after 8 o'clock. I gotta finish fixing something to eat. I still don't know what it is I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna figure out what to do with my hair. I'm planning out different little hairstyles. I'm on YouTube now, about to log on and look at some more videos, even though I don't know what it is that they're all doing. These natural hair girls, they got mad experience, y'all. So I got to catch up to all of them. Adrian, thank you for saying my show is very beneficial. I try to do that. Like again tonight, I only did a little bit of notes, so I didn't want to do too much. I knew you guys would come on and give me so much info, so much great info, and God bless. I appreciate you guys for doing that. Thank you, my cousins and my friends, everyone who came on tonight. I'm going to log off. Again, please make sure you are following me. Again, that you have liked my page. I'm going to have so many more things coming on. I'm going to incorporate them into my SkolerTalk, but as you guys know, I'm always posting and putting up different things that I'm involved in. So please, again, support. You support me, I support you. As I grow, of course, I'm going to be there to help you guys. And all these shows that I'm doing is not just for me and discussing my personal or business life. It's to help you guys as well. So I'm here supporting you guys. I'm here for you as always. So on that note, I'm going to finish cooking and seeing what I'm going to do with my hair. I got to take this wig off because I'm getting hot now. So I'll talk to you guys another time. Enjoy your Tuesdays. Peace out. Bye.